Or salon, contemporary, classic, skin fade, yeah. Yeah, I've done a lot of graduation lately. A lot of graduation. So if anyone's struggling with graduation, go to YouTube, you'll see 50 videos back to back of cross graduation. Today we're going to do some skin fade, or some fading even. No longer than this, really. Like, if I was to trim this again after this, I'd probably take length off. Do you know what I mean? But I'd love to see just a little layer here, just with the hair type that we have. Most likely we can get rid of this. This is just like excess bulk. See this on the front? And trim that back. Get rid of some of that. Reduce that kind of puffiness that's there. And that just grows out from like a shaved haircut, you know what I mean? Where you get this like bump of weight in here. There's a few ways we can handle that, but we'll look at that in a sec. But basically all I'm going to do is reduce some of the weight in here so it's not as puffy or as kind of dense looking. Shape up the front. Skin fade wise, Oscar mentioned last time it was taken a little bit high for his liking in terms of like contours and crown. We can see it's just a little bit high in the back and stuff, which is fine, but we're going to repair that today. And you can see even on this side obviously the contour is quite high. But that's fine, we're going to repair that. So all we're going to do here is reduce this little band of weight in the front where the frontal lobe is. Shape this up. Nice mid skin fade, okay, not looking to go crazy high. Obviously Oscar mentioned that he really wants to grow this back out. So I don't want to bring in super high skin fade, reduce any length that has grown again and make it more difficult for him to get back to that level. Nice mid skin fade all the way around. Shape up wise, see what we can do. Again, there's not massive strength there, but I do think we can leave something to get a little bit of strength here. Okay. If I don't actually cut anything that's on this, I'll probably get a nice shape up on it, to be honest, is what I'm feeling. And then we'll do a nice little fade into the beard, shape up the cheeks, shape up the back of the beard line and so on. Right on the temple peak point, which is a really good point to begin from when we're working on these sort of haircuts. The high guideline, all I've done was use the temple peak point as a guide. Used when I fade is that wherever my skin line is, on a general rule, the distance between the skin line to the two, I just split that in half. Okay, so when we're looking at how high the skin fade needs to be or how high the transition needs to be, that's a separate question in terms of where the skin line needs to go. But beyond that, once your skin line is in place, wherever the skin line is, I just divide what's left in half between the 0.5 and the 1 open. General rule of thumb. Easiest way to create balance from here to here is just divide it in half. Okay. The reason I say that is because I see a lot of people go in with their 0.5 and create this tiny little line, very small little line, and then there's loads of space for the 1 open and the 1, right? When you go to then blend your 00 into your 0.5, which is actually still a 1, that's where the problems happen, because there's not enough distance to blend the 00 into the 0.5 with the 0. Okay? I don't want to drive the 1 open as high as the last person did, okay? So all I'm going to do is bring my 1 open to where I think it should have been, okay? And then whatever weight line is left between there, I'm going to just push it into the existing hair with the transition, okay? I would never match the height that's been set if I want to bring it back lower, do you know what I mean? So yeah, of course, maybe sometimes that's going to sacrifice how the fade looks a little bit, but structurally how this client's hair looks in like 4 weeks is much more important than me getting a really nice clean fade for Instagram right now. It's still don't look good though, but just in a warning sense for anybody that is in the salons, that's how I'd approach this. Okay, it's almost coming off the head at a 90-degree angle, and imagine that the motion of the clipper is completely square like this. Okay, now the reason for that is because all I'm trying to do is create a square shape on the hair. A lot of barbers use the C motion, which is this, which is great when you're trying to control the blend on the way down, but not when you're trying to build the shape on the way up. Okay, so C motion comes when you want to be a little bit more careful. The inverted comes when you want to create square shape, reduce weight, and so on. Dropping down to the 1.5 to 1.5, remove that with the 1. Back to the 1 open if I need to remove any blemishes that I notice on the way back down. So as lastly, the zero line.
When it comes to like pressure on the scalp, how are you digging in, are you slowly
Quite gentle. When I'm removing the zero line, guys, it's really about just pushing that zero line into the existing haircut. I'm not trying to, you know, carve out a new part of the haircut, if that makes sense. I'm basically trying to just flick the zero line that I've created into an existing fade. It's the best way that I can describe. The head on this side. I'm just going to square that off with the number 2. Just from there to there. Okay. And then when you come to the back, now the back is here. Now you're fading this way, which is not good, exactly. All right. So what you want to actually do is bring this line all the way back to as far as your eye can basically see. Lifting her into the fade. And then go back with the 0.5 sometimes after and just pick it out. Exactly. I noticed the clipper catch them here once, so that's a sign that it would do that. Yeah, it's probably not the right hair type or clipper to do it. This is only my second time using the gamma, so I'm still trying to figure out what I can get away with it, if that makes sense. It's just some scissor over comb. So through here, I'm just going to scissor over comb round with the front.
So you're following the head shape with it?
Yep.
And on straight up?
Exactly. Take that little lip off on the front.